You're listening to a production of the We Can Make This Work Probably Network.
As most of you are probably aware, the world is in kind of a chaotic state right now, and especially the United States, because of the brutal murdering of George Floyd. So in solidarity with Black Lives Matter and in the hope for justice for George Floyd.
Black Lives Matter.
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 We all stand together.
Hey everybody, it's Rich from the Taviran Podcast, taking a break here from the show to talk to you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain how to do that. First thing, most important, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Probably the ones you guys listen to right now. You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's really everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go download the free Anchor app or go to intrepid.fm to get started today. With that, guys, I'll let you get back to the show and listen to Bill kind of ramble on about whatever else he's talking about.
Too young for this trek. The final frontier. These are the voyages of
MC,
Troy,
and Eric.
Their mission to introduce Tyler to strange new episodes.
To seek out the best and worst media in the Star Trek franchise.
To boldly go where several podcasts have probably gone before.
Rejoice ye one and all, as the dragon has returned to Season 2 of the Taviran Podcast. Please join Rich Arbara, Rob Alfor, Bill Culfrane, as they take on the epic fantasy series of the Wheel of Time. This season is dedicated to the Great Hunt, so join us as we go on a mystical adventure following the travels of the great Horn of Valair in this season of the Taviran Podcast. Hello, Beyond the listeners, and welcome to a slightly delayed episode of the Taviran Podcast. Yes, how's it going, everyone? Yeah, sorry about the delay. Unfortunately, with the whole pandemic and just general work, it's been very difficult to arrange some times between us. And poor old Rich, I made him get out of bed twice very early and I had to cancel it on him in the last minute because there were some emergency things going on at my work. So,
Yes,
sorry,
so
Rich.
I was awake.
Yeah, he was there. But
I was there.
I had to literally just like a couple of minutes before I got an email saying like, oh my God, this is broken. It's like, oh. Yeah, I've got to do this. Got to pay the bills. Anyway, I'm Phil. Hello, I'm your one side of the Atlantic, rather good-looking host.
I'm Robert. Yes.
Rob's from somewhere.
Rob's from somewhere on the other side of the Atlantic.
And
go ahead.
Oh, you could finish your little spiel.
I was gonna say I'm slightly less good looking than Bill. He's our face of the franchise.
Oh, and I am Rich, the sultry voice of the show.
Yeah, Rich is our porn voice for the show.
Oh God.
I am Paul Rudd.
Chicken where? Oh, we think we set a record for first Paul Rudd reference.
Yeah, that was nice and quick. So how you guys been doing the last couple of weeks?
Oh,
keeping on?
Same as you, working, trying to assimilate back into life. Not doing it too well, but glad to be still weaving the pattern, right?
Weaving the pattern. That's what it's all about. What about you, Rich?
I'm alive.
Alive, getting stronger.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, back to the
Definitely
gym.
not dead.
Yes, I have a competition in 2 weeks, so I'm a little
Oh, cool.
broken.
Uh-oh.
Oh, good luck, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
You got a home gym there set up to train?
No, I'm back at the gym.
Okay.
Yep,
Back
I'm there.
To the gym.
Well,
It's
best
just a guy
of
called
luck.
Jim.
Best of luck.
Well, thank you all.
It's just an empty room with a guy called Jim who shouts at Rich.
Mm-hmm. That is right.
Hang on, wait, or was that the game Headliner? Anyway, let's not talk about it.
Oh, no. I was gonna make a Final Fantasy VII reference. But doing a squat challenge? Is that what you're doing?
Yep, all day.
Is it still squats in the remake, or is it push-ups? Or
No, it's
pull-ups?
squats
And
and
then
pull-ups.
There's a second one, yeah, with Tifa and pull-ups.
Oh well, that's not fanboyish.
Well, have you seen the picture of the new gym in the remake, Bill? Sorry to derail, but I forget his name. I forget the name of the guy who runs the gym, but in the remake, have you seen his likeness?
No, I haven't.
You need to at least Google that and look that up. It's you got to experience that character once, right, Rich?
Oh.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I'll assume in the second part that she'll probably join the Shinra volleyball team.
Oh man! So, what's been going on in the world of Wheel of Time?
Well, first of all,
Heard anything?
we've had a review.
Oh, that's right. I got it right here.
So this review comes in. So yes, thankfully you people won't have to listen to our no review song.
Thank you very much, people.
So I won't even do an impression of it. My Bills League will stay where it is for now. You all have a reprieve for another week, and you can all thank Tanis 1977 via Apple Podcasts of America. So he says, starting to catch up again. Just heard the punishment song. That was truly awful. Job well done. I'm glad to see Robert Rich can do worse. Bet you can't. In fact, if the other two of you can top that, I'll donate $5 on Patreon. In any case, good show, not too raunchy. He puts in brackets, well done, Bill, for reining yourself in. Thank you very much. I've been trying hard. After just saying Tifa's going to join the volleyball team. Good laughs, he says. Please, more readings. Rob's comedy readings are cool, but I like the serious readings more. When you guys really get into the part, perhaps these are the favourite parts. All in all, please keep it going. So thank you, Tanis. And
Thank you very much, Tanis.
Our whole audience of, I think we've got 3 people left after the punishment song. Thank you as well, because they don't have to listen to my Bills League song.
So, Rich, do you want to take him up on his offer and you want to try and cover that song too? See how you do?
What? What song? I'm just kidding.
I'm like, you're part of a podcast. You realize this, right?
No, I'm not. You don't know. I think what he's just suggesting is we do more readings with Rob, and we just don't do anything. It's just you doing readings of Rob.
You missed the whole first part where he said he would donate $5 if you were me.
Oh yeah, if
he of the covering of Mother.
He needs to up that to maybe about 25, and he has a deal.
I think you guys should choose a different song though, if you are going to do it.
How many?
But yeah.
I don't have any money.
How many Mother songs are there? I mean, like I said, Pink Floyd has one.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can find something.
You probably should sing, like I said, you should sing
hundreds of Mother songs.
Wolf Mother.
Surely.
That would be more.
Oh yeah, Wolf Mother.
Wolf Mother for you.
Woman, tell you woman, you gotta be a woman, you got the feeling of love.
Now stop taking all of our songs, Bill. Damn, boy.
No one wants to hear me sing that one. That would be so high pitched.
You could break a few
Wolf
monitors.
Mother are great. I saw them live when they toured their first album. It was amazing.
Oh, very cool.
So awesome. Yeah, they did a cover of Communication Breakdown by Led Zeppelin as well. It was epic.
Oh wow. Oh, that'd be a good one for them to do. Yeah.
But anyway, yes. So, what about Wheel of Time news? There's been some big news, guys. Have you all heard of a little thing called the Wheel of Steve?
No.
No.
I'm just kidding.
You're our social media, correspondent.
So, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure all of you know because this news is like 3 weeks old now. They just released. They released a few more actors' names, and even saying like what some of their characters. I think some of them had like official character names as well, didn't
I think so.
But then there was one guy who was just named, and his character name was Steve. Now, there is no one in the Wheel of Time books called Steve.
I wonder if they stole our idea and called Murdral Steve.
Yeah. I don't know if this guy is going to be a Murdral. Do you know who the guy is? It's the one he plays the king of Rohan, is it, in Lord of the Rings films?
Oh, yeah. I do. I can picture him very well.
He's obviously aged quite a bit since then. He's a lot more grey around the edges. But but yeah, so this is like he's played some sort of big side characters in Lord of the Rings and lots of other films. He's been in loads and loads of stuff. So you can't imagine he's just going to be some sort of 2-bit Bob character in the background. So there's loads of rumours floating around about what he could possibly be.
Maybe he's Sendwee's brother, Steve Wee.
So Twitter just exploded with loads of people with their theories and like the Twitter of Steve, Steve of Time, and yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because it's if they're keeping him covered up, and obviously if he's on the show now, then it must be an early-ish character. So we've covered the first book now, so the speculation would be something like Beelzebub, maybe.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's got enough cachet. He's not just a little side bit part. He's got to be someone. But isn't the first season going to be encapsulating both the first and the second book? Have they casted Lord Agelmore yet?
They probably won't say that until the end.
I thought the first season was just going to be the first book.
Unless that's changed, I could be wrong. I thought it was going. Are they going to expect to have 14 seasons of a show?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome, but reality must set in, and 7 is still a aggressive mark to hit, and then that would be 2 books a season. How
many seasons of Well, let's be fair, shall we? Let's just say book 6 to 9.
That's true.
Book 6 to 12 could just be like a 10-minute story of Perrin walking across some fields,
and a bunch of ladies having Congress.
Yes. So. Congress or coitus?
Hey.
Sorry, rain something.
Bring it back.
Yeah, so we don't know. I mean, there is. I'm not going to say anything because of spoilers, but there's a character who doesn't. I think he doesn't come into like book 10 or 11. He's involved with the Black Tower. The actor who they named, I can't remember what his name is now, which is a shame. I should have that in front of me. But he is like the spitting image of what I had that character look like in my head from when I read the books.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about.
I assume it's not going to be him because he doesn't show up for like a long time.
We will see him for a bit.
But yeah, I reckon that could be the possible thing.
They still haven't cast Rand's, They still haven't cast Elaine Min or Avienda yet, have they?
I'm sure they have. Hasn't production already started?
But they haven't announced it yet.
Okay, I'm pretty sure production's already started, so I'm assuming.
Sorry to spoil. If there will be a character called Avienda, if we haven't met her yet, but sorry.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. Very sorry. All right. Where are we? We're up to chapter 3. I know after 2 weeks off. Oh my God. Apologize for the delay. But we are up to chapter 3, Friends and Enemies. And now a word from our sponsors.
Hey guys, let's time out for a second. I know you're probably listening really deep in the Taverin podcast, listening to what Rob, myself, and Bill are talking about. Yeah, probably whatever Bill's rambling about. I want to take a minute to talk to you about Spotify. Spotify, you can listen to all your favorite artists and podcasts in one place for free. You don't even need a premium account to do that. Spotify has a huge collection of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcast so you never miss an episode. That's pretty nice. Premium users can download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are. That's pretty handy, especially when you're in Emmonsfield. I bet there's not very good cell reception. Easily share with what you're listening to your friends on Instagram. So tell you what, if you haven't done so already, download the Spotify app, search for the Taverin podcast on Spotify, or browse your podcasts in your library tab. Also, make sure you follow me so you never miss an episode of the Taverin podcast. All right, guys, let's get back to the discussion of the Taverin podcast.
Have you ever tried eating a corned beef sandwich in zero gravity?
Are you a veteran of the Great Emu War of 1932?
Do you long for a simpler time when the world's greatest global crisis involved horse manure?
If the answer to any of these questions was no, then we have the podcast for you.
Epic Fails of History.
A podcast that delves into the most epic fails of, history.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
The only thing we have to fear is
Epic Fails of History.
Subscribe today on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. We've got more random tales of fail coming your way, so stay tuned for more epic fails of history.
This chapter begins as where the other chapters ended. Rand is running.
Yes, he is. Running as usual. See, the difference is, from this with this book versus, Lord of the Rings, they're walking. This one, they're always running.
It's always running. It's always running. So yeah, he's always running. This chapter is third chapter in a row running. Rand is actually confirming what Tima told him. So the last chapter ended with Tima hearing the bells and saying, "Oh, my Lord Rand, you must be very happy. The Amarylline is here to see you." And he's like, "The hell I am."
He's like, "Shit."
It's like, yeah, it's basically whatever the wheel of blood and ashes.
Yes.
So he runs all throughout the castle. He checks every gate, every window. He even checks, I think, the dog kennels.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Everything is locked up tight. A quick conversation with the guards at one of the gates. He finds out nothing comes in, nothing goes out by order, most likely by order of the Lord Agelmar himself, if not by, Mother herself, the Amarylline Seat. One little quick note I did have was that we get, in the middle of all this main plot that goes along, Jordan likes to sprinkle little tidbits of knowledge to remind everybody of the different areas and stuff. So he's meeting with the guards at the gate, and the guards start to give him crap for his longbow. And this is kind of a little bit of a theme that kind of will be peppered in throughout the whole series. Longbow is the preferred weapon of the Two Rivers. And it's funny because the guy's giving him crap. That bow's way too big for you. You wouldn't be able to handle a bow like that. You got to use one, shorter, more compact, better, taut lines and all that. And Rand thinks this is a bow. This is a normal bow. This is what we normally use. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. But it's one of those things where you start to piece certain aspects with certain nations, and Two Rivers are known for their marksmanship with the longbow. So this is one of those spots where he takes a chance to pepper that information in.
Mm-hmm. He does. He does. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I think in the first book, didn't Matt shot a Trolloc from riding on horseback or something like that, right?
Yes, he did. The big battle on while they were being chased to the fields.
Yes. Even Land compliments, if you keep up with that kind of bow work, we might make it out of here yet.
Mm-hmm. He does a pretty good job with it. He can't. I mean, that's what they do. They hunt rabbits and other things in Emmons Field. So
yep.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Expert marksman.
Expert marksman. That is correct. So after he's already, like I said, he's checked all the windows, all the doors, everything's barred, the dog kennels, everything. He then starts to gets the wild idea to throw a rope out the window and climb down. So then he looks out the windows and he looks straight down and he sees a pit of spikes. He's like, that's really good for keeping Trollocs out and keeping me in, it looks like. So out the window.
Not quite a Disney film here, is it?
Yeah, I know. So now he's feeling truly, truly trapped. He's here. So now if he can't flee, he's got to hide. And he starts to inner turmoil. His thoughts are like, the Amarylline Seat is here to get him. He doesn't understand what it is. Why would she come for him? He didn't mean to channel. It was an accident. I did it one time. The only reason they bring the head muckety muck of the White Tower here is to gentle him.
I mean, how would she know? The thing he doesn't understand is how would she know that he did it?
But then again, how would she know? But then Aes Sedai, he still doesn't know anything. I could just keep boil it up to Aes Sedai ways that they can do it. And one thing he's learned about gentle men, he listened to when Tom was talking about his nephew. When a man who can channel gets channeled or has the ability to do magic taken away from him, they lose their identity. They become a shell of their former selves, and they just have to stop having the will to live. And that's what happened to is it Owen, his nephew? That's what happened to Tom's nephew. So Rand goes from fear to panic to just, oh my God, I'm dying. She's going to kill me. This is insane. And he now has to go hide. He's running. Theme of this first few chapters of him. He's wandering around aimlessly, thinking about how he's just doomed to this sullen life. He's going to be a shell of himself. He can't do it. And then he starts to feel a presence. So it's what you could say, a presence of something watching him.
It's rich.
It's rich.
Oh yeah.
Covered.
You know, yep. I know whenever I have the voice in my head, it sounds just like Rich.
What?
I don't know why that is.
It's okay.
Go to sleep. It's okay. I'm always reading you, Robert.
Stroke his hair.
So first we get what he had the wind wall when he was training with Lan, and now the Amaryllis seats here.
That was messed up.
Yep. And now some unseen watcher. He's like, what the hell is going on around here? All this weird crap's now happening in Rand, and it's all his whole psyche, all these things are just kind of whirlwind inside him, and he's going batshit crazy, for lack of a better term.
I feel him, man. I feel like I'm going crazy on Rand's behalf just reading this.
Batshit crazy. I know. It's like one after the other. So as he's making his way around the fortress, he comes across some soldiers playing dice. And as we're going to learn, where there's dice,
there is Matt.
There is Matt. Thank you. Let me hang it for a sec, but thank you.
That's right. It's a dramatic pause. I like to.
Thank you. Perrin and Loyal are there too. So this is more of Jordan sprinkling in the reintroduction of characters, how he did in the first couple of chapters, where he's training with Lan. Don't forget Lan's part of the story. You know, he goes into his room, grabs the cloak from Tom. Oh, Tom. Yeah, I remember Tom. You know, and this is him. Yeah. Oh, that's right. He has his two buddies and then Loyal here too. So, you know, that's right.
Loyal being here in this moment seems very shoehorned in.
Kinda, because dice isn't the kind of thing Loyal will be into. But one note I have on here, and once again another future reference, Matt is winning at dice. ... Go figure. It's another general theme. Matt is uncannily good at dice.
Or does he cheat?
I always thought if I ever met Matt, buddy, we're heading to Vegas now. But that was my thought.
Yeah, he might be a cheat though.
I can confirm, Rich. Matt is not cheating.
He is not.
Mm-hmm.
He is just a lucky son of a bitch.
As we'll learn.
Yeah, some may say the devil's own luck.
Mm-hmm.
Or the dark one's own luck.
Don't say that out loud. So as he's making this, he's trying to talk with his friends. He's trying to calm himself down. Rand makes it clear he is looking to leave, and then Matt, Perrin, and Loyal like, okay, man, we can maybe head over to this country to do this. Oh, I heard an alien. They're talking about the hunt. Maybe we could even head over here to do this. And
yeah, they're trying to be the good, supportive friends.
They are.
They?
They're being excellent, supportive friends.
And Rand just decides, I'm going to be a complete dick.
Well, dude, I literally have here, Rand activates dick mode.
Dick mode activated. Oh, wait, no, that's something else.
I had a whole... I had an old buddy in college that when he would want to, break up with his significant other, he'd say, Rob, I got to go activate dick mode now. I can't be around here anymore. That's basically what Rand was doing.
I like that idea.
Rand is scathing.
Sorry, guys. I got to have the weekend off. I'm in dick mode.
I'm in dick mode. Sorry. Do it your own damn self. He's scathing. He rips Matt. He rips Perrin a new one. Perrin is dejected, Perrin wasn't making much eye contact since the end of the first book, but now you could tell his head's down. He can't do it. And Matt, and this the biggest burn Matt gives Rand is instead of calling him Rand, he just refers to him as Althor. These are two of the closest buddies, and he's like, all right, whatever, Althor. And that was more like a dig at anything because he knew that was a personal shot, not to refer to him as first name. And then Rand rips into Loyal, which is just the most ungodly thing. Who could ever fathom Loyal, the sweetest, gentlest guy you've ever met, and he just tears him a new one too.
I was going to break into the BFG song, but then I suddenly couldn't remember it.
Better off.
Something about bubbles.
Oh God,
With
that's right. You
Popeye?
have two young girls. That movie's right up their alley, wasn't it?
Yeah, it won't be long. Yeah. Moana's the flavour of the month at the moment.
Oh no.
Yeah, watched Frozen 2 the other day. Thankfully, it didn't seem to set in. So
That's good.
My kids
I like
when
Moana.
Nemo came out, that was my kid's big go-to.
Yeah, we were last night just before bedtime. We were dancing around the bedroom, listening to one of the songs from Moana, and I was thinking, God, in my 20s, if I knew I was going to be dancing around with a 3-year-old, listening to Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, singing in this song, it's just like I'd have been like, Bill, you've clearly gone insane. It's time to get the men with the white coat.
The only thing that would make it better is tell me that you were singing into a hairbrush as a microphone.
He probably was.
I was
tell me.
not. There is only one hairbrush in the household, and it is precious.
Oh,
It shall not be sung into like a mic.
oh that would have
That
been,
is
that would have been best.
as was written during the third age. An age yet to come, or an age that's
The
already
age
been.
yet to pass. The age of the lone hairbrush.
That's right.
So
The hairbrush of time. The hairbrush train ground.
the wheel weaves into the bristles of my hairbrush. Okay,
Yes.
okay, I could go on forever. So as Rand is ripping Loyal, he knows that he's being bad for doing this, and he knows that Loyal absolutely does not deserve this. But the other Borderlanders who are playing dice looked at Rand like, "You're an asshole," because to them, Ogier are revered for their craftsmanship masonry.
Yeah,
How are
I
you talking
expect them to
like
get their
that?
bats and start hitting him at this point.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you may have just saved their ass at Tarwin's Gap, but you're a dick.
What you say to that all year? Yeah, but they don't know that he. Oh, we're. No, sorry. I was gonna say they don't know what Rand did at Tarwin Gap,
No,
but
they
they
just-
know he was
his
with
likeness was
Moraine's
there.
group.
Yeah,
Well, no.
exactly.
No, not. They don't know. No one really knows what that guy, who that person was, who showed up and did all that stuff. But
Okay.
But because he was with Moraine, and everyone associates that whatever happened there was to do with Moraine, they're like, oh yeah, you must have really helped us out.
Yep.
Just to clarify.
So he storms off from their crew, and we know the reason why Rand was like that, because he had to do this alone. Anybody who followed him is in dire straits, and he didn't want to deal with that. Excuse me. So who's the next person he comes across?
Well, he comes across Egwene.
Egwene, that's right. He meets up with the mayor's daughter, and he decides to activate dick mode again. And
I definitely would if I met Egwene. I mean,
he takes shots at her hair. I mean,
sorry,
that's-
wrong dick mode again. Hang on, I'm not taking shots. Hang on, he's taking shots in with dick mode activated.
What is
We just-
happening?
We just crossed over some. We just went down the rabbit hole there.
Sorry, I was told to rein it in, so I'm just suddenly
Here's the
like,
rope, pulling you back.
the seams are
pulling you
coming
back.
apart.
I'm pulling you back. But it's funny. It's funny the level of dick he does go, because he insults her hair. In my worst mood ever,
This is
I
killing
would
me.
never.
This is killing me. How am I supposed to hold this in when you keep saying this?
He's a dick with her hair.
Oh my
The
God.
amount of dick he's got. I can't even remember what you just said. It just killed me. It's like, I've got so many double entendres that I just want to say to you.
I know.
Sorry.
He goes on to accuse Egwene of being in alignment with the Emerald Seat and help to capture Rand.
Man, he's gone paranoid.
Well, here's the beautiful thing, and this would be a great scene too if the TV show does go with it. Egwene hears all this, and her instinct is not to yell back, it's not to storm away, but she just leaves with the shoulder and tackles him to the ground, and sit on him. That's right. She knocks him over and sits on him, and she says, "My mom always told me if a boy is being so stubborn, the only way to get him to listen is to sit on him," or something like that. Stop it, Bill. I know you're trying. Stop it.
I don't think that's what she meant by sit on him.
Stop it, Bill. Stop it. I didn't say anything about sitting on his dick mode. I didn't say
Where's
that.
my brown paper bag? Where's my brown paper bag?
She goes, this way he can't escape when a woman's trying to talk some sense into him. Oh, man, I have another note here, but I'm not even going to say it now.
Welcome to the Wheel Time Podcast, where we talk dirty the whole time.
Oh,
Thanks to
this
Bill.
one. Sometimes you got to ride that mule.
Nope. You gotta ride that Bella.
Pardon me while I turn my page.
Please, stop it. Riding mules. Oh my God. Anyway, that's something that we're not supposed to look at.
Okay, shocked at Egwene's tackling ability, Rand tries to threaten her with the one power. I'm going to do it, which Egwene immediately laughs off. Because you have no idea what you're doing, Rand. I have been trained by Moraines to die, and you have no clue what you're doing.
Either.
You stupid sheep. Yeah, I don't have any. I can light a candle for a second, but hey, you're a stupid sheep herder. But Egwene is able to see through Rand's dick mode and
well, she even sets a torch on fire, doesn't she, to prove that she's got more control than him.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. That was kind of a cool scene too. But she sees right through Rand. She's like, I know what you're doing. I know why you did it to them, to the boys. It's not going to work on me. I know you're trying to protect your friends. So Egwene says, well, if you can't run, let's hide. Maybe the Emerald seat is here for Moraine and not Rand. That was her other aspect. Maybe it's not everything revolves around stupid men. Maybe she's here to see Moraine. Who knows? So we start finding different hiding spots. And the first one she goes is the dungeon. He's like, the dungeon? What are you doing in a dungeon? Oh, then I go down there. She goes, I go down there all the time. I meet up with Padden Fane. He's very lucid. He tells me good stories about the tours. It makes me feel like home. He's like, what? Why, that guy's a crazy madman now. Why he sent Trollocs and Kevins to our village. She said, I know, and he makes me feel like home. He makes me miss home. And as they're making their way down, and this is where Egwene, you can tell Egwene is well on the path to Aes Sedaihood. Brandon asks her, did you ever get permission to visit Padden Fane? And she's like, well, they never told me I couldn't do it, which is the perfect.
It's true.
It's that double think, isn't it? It's 1984 double think.
Yep, exactly. No one said I couldn't do it, so I might as well.
Explicitly, so
exactly.
So fuck it.
As I hear, oh yes, Egwene will make a fine Aes Sedai. Put that double speak. So one thing we notice is Egwene does comment that the dungeon guards are normally more jovial, but today they are just outright mean and nasty. So I forget the names of the dungeon guards, but she said normally she'll come down and have a little rapport with them. They'll crack jokes, and then she'll go on to. This has a very Silence of the Lambs feel to me, and I think this book was written around the same time, or released around the same time as that movie. So it wasn't like he stole that vision from the movie. This just happens to be very similar to that, where she's going down the dark hall. All these cells are on the one side, and Padden's on the end of the row.
Doing some crochet.
Well, and in like Silence of the Lambs, he's standing there waiting for her, expecting, as if he knew what was going to happen.
He must be in regal mode.
Yes, it's Fane gives a very compelling Hannibal Lecter impersonations. He seemed to have been expecting Egwene and Rand's visit. It's almost like he knew where Rand was.
He knew he was coming, but then he does.
He was correct. Yeah. So upon seeing Rand, Fane begins to chant like the Dark Friends at Boris' tea party. Just, I give my pledge of allegiance. However, Fane includes Mordeth and talks about Mordeth from Shadar Logoth. I don't know if the books or we've gone into this, but they tried Mordeth and Shadar Logoth is a different kind of evil than Trollocs and Kevins and the Dark One, correct?
Yep. So, yes, they are their own things, basically. Because that's why even the Trollocs wouldn't go into Shadar Logoth.
Yes.
Because they were scared of what was in there. So that was just like its own manifestation of evil by itself.
Please reference Bill readings, Tellings of the Wheel, Part 2. Was Part 2 or Part 1? Part 2. 1 was Manether, and Part 2 was Shadar Logoth.
Yes, I think so.
But
because the first one was about first one was Mount Ether, and the second one was Shadar Logoth.
Yeah. But the thing to note is, as Padden does his kind of litany to the Dark One, he includes Mordeth and Shadar Logoth. That's something of note.
Yeah. Soon comes the day all shall be free, even you and even me. Soon comes the day I shall die. Surely you, but never I. He's one creepy fuck.
Then, Egwene comments to Rand that Fane has had good days and bad days, but this is one of the worst days she's seen from him. She's like, yeah, I think this is our cue to make like a tree and get out of here.
Yeah, he's definitely gone completely mad today.
Yeah, this is definitely not one of the good days. We're not going to get any jovial stories about Two Rivers. And
Egwene's like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, bad idea. So she comes up with an even better hiding place. The women's quarters.
Which is a great place to be. Let's just go
Why
there.
did you think of that first time? Yeah, let's go see the madman in the dungeon, or I could just go to your room. Big mode activated.
Rand's probably thinking, I'd rather stay here. But then, he's like, she just wants to put me in embarrassing situations. That's the only reason she's doing this.
Duh.
Next, she's like, well, I could hide you in the bathhouse. I could hide you. I don't even know what's worse. But.
Yeah. And then as they're leaving, good old Padden Fane just shouts after them, "It's never over, Alfor. Never. And that brings a close to the chapter.
So at least this time, Rand did not end the chapter running, unless you count him walking briskly away from Padden Fane.
Let's just say he's just hopping away really fast.
He's skipping.
Yeah. Well, he's going to the women's quarters. I'd be like, skipping the jump. So what did you guys think of the chapter?
It's a good chapter. Like I said, we're still kind of in introductory mode. Like I said, again, with meeting Padden Fane, it's more sprinkling of reintroduction of characters. But I think the part with Egwene and Rand was the best part, where you're being a dick. Let me tackle you to the ground and sit on you.
Yeah, that was funny.
I mean,
I like all the stuff with Loyal as well, because he's often talking about. He talks a lot about you guys being Targaryen. Because he's basically just tells them at this point, like, I'm going to stick to you guys like glue because this is fantastic. I'm having a
some shit's about to happen, and I want to be there when it does.
Shit's going down. I'm going to be there. Scratching my ears.
Reading my book. Writing in my book.
Yeah, and then we get the craziness of Padden Fane and how he's kind of like, even the guards standing near him are beginning to feel his darkness, and it puts him into bad moods.
Exactly.
It's crazy stuff.
Bad times. He's like Dennis Hopper, bad times happening, man. It's all coming down on you, man.
So that will lead us into next week's chapter of chapter 4, Summoned.
Summoned. But first, right now we go to readings, right?
Yep, readings with Roberto Carlos.
And now, the Ta'veren present to you Readings with Rob.
Chapter 3, Friends and Enemies. But if the gates are barred, Matt said, how do we get out? Rand stared at him. He had to go alone. It would be dangerous for anyone near him eventually. He would be dangerous. And even Moiraine could not tell him how long he had. Matt, you know you have to go to Tar Valon with Moiraine. She said that's the only place where you could be separated from that bloody dagger without dying. And you know what will happen if you keep it. Matt touched the coat over the dagger, not seeming to realize what he was doing. An Aes Sedai's gift is bait for the fish, he quoted. Well, maybe I don't want to put the hook in my mouth. Maybe whatever she wants to do in Tar Valon is worse than if I don't go at all. Maybe she's lying. The truth an Aes Sedai tells is never the truth you think it is. You have any more old sayings you want to rid yourself of? Rand asked. A south wind brings a warm guest, a north wind an empty house? A pig painted gold is still a pig? What about talk shears no sheep? A fool's words are dust? Easy, Rand, Perrin said softly. There's no need to be so rough. Isn't there? Maybe I don't want you two going with me. Always hanging around, falling into trouble and expecting me to pull you out. You ever think of that? Burn me! Did it ever occur to you I might be tired of always having you there whenever I turn around? Always there! And I'm tired of it! The hurt on Perrin's face cut him like a knife, but he pushed on relentlessly. There are some here think I'm the Lord. A lord! Maybe I like that. But look at you. Dicing with stable hands? Where I go by myself. You two can go to Tarvalon or go hang yourselves, but I leave here alone. Matt's face had gone stiff, and he clutched the dagger through his coat till his knuckles were white.
If that's how you want it,
he said coldly.
I thought we were... However you want it, Althor. But if I decide to leave at the same time you do, I'll go. And you can stand clear of me.
Nobody's going anywhere, Perrin said. If the gates are barred... He was staring at the floor again. Laughter rolled from the gamblers against the wall as someone lost. Go or stay, Loyal said. Together or apart. It doesn't matter. You are all three ta'veren. Even I can see it, and I don't have that talent. Just by what happens around you. And Moiraine Sedai says it too. Matt threw up his hands.
No more, Loyal. I don't want to hear about that anymore.
Loyal shook his head. Whether you hear it or not, it is still true. The wheel of time weaves the pattern of the age, using the lives of men for thread. And you three are ta'veren, center points of the weaving.
No more, Loyal.
For a time, the wheel will bend the pattern around you three, whatever you do. And whatever you do is more likely to be chosen by the wheel than by you. ta'veren pull history along behind them and shape the pattern just by being. But the wheel weaves ta'veren on a tighter line than other men. Wherever you go, and whatever you do, until the wheel chooses otherwise, you will...
No more!
Matt shouted. The men dicing looked around, and he glared at them until they had bent back to their game. I am sorry, Matt. Loyal rumbled. I know I talk too much, but I did not mean...
I'm not staying here,
Matt told the rafters.
With a big-mouth Ogier and a fool whose head is too big for a hat. You coming, Perrin?
Perrin sighed and glanced at Rand, then nodded. Rand watched them go with the stick caught in his threat. I must go alone. Light help me. I have to.
That was Readings with Rob. If there's a passage in an upcoming chapter you wish to have read on the podcast, simply tweet us at ta'verenpod with your request.
And that was Readings with Robert.
That's
now,
me.
I wonder if you're going to take that one seriously or comedically.
I took a serious part. I do.
Good.
Yep.
Good, as long as we listen to our reviews. We could choose to ignore them later. But at
like
least for one episode.
Like I said before, every opportunity that I can to read more Land Nynaeve, I'm doing it.
No, I don't blame you. So, yep, that brings an end to this week's episode. So, guys, remember, please show your love by rating and reviewing our podcast on whatever podcasting apps you've got. If you do it on an obscure one, please let me know. I'm kind of trying to cover the big ones that I know of. But yeah, if you do leave us a review, you can even leave us a review via email at tarverianpod@gmail.com. And
Discord reviews work as well.
Yeah, Discord reviews. Yeah, we will accept that. And anything not to listen to me sing "Mother" by Dan Danzig over and over again. Otherwise, you'll get it next week, people. You only got a week. Speaking of Discord, you can join our Discord and chat to us. No one else does. Such a depressing place. People join. I see it. People join regularly, and no one ever says it.
We got a shout out from another Discord server, the Wheel of Time Trivia Discord. They gave us a shout out, and I think we got a couple people popping in from there. So
instantly left.
Like, this place sucks.
Yeah, I know. I was talking about shutting it down the other day. I still might. Because we do have an open Discord spot on the network server, so we could technically bring people over there, but we'll have to talk about it. But yeah, you guys can also reach out to us on Twitter and join the conversation of Steve at Tarviran Pod. I don't think we have any particular network events, but if you are in the state of Maine, I don't think it's official yet, but I'm pretty sure friend of the show, Pete Bourgeois, has won the seat to sit as a Republican.
Woohoo, Steve!
For his local, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't understand American politics.
I don't understand. Yeah, we don't understand it either.
Trump's in office. No one knows anything.
But yeah, he's won the right to sit for his party. So congratulations.
Congrats.
We're also on YouTube. You can find us there at Tarviran, and subscribe and join the conversation there. So yeah, so many places you can show us love and support. I need a drink, guys. I'm very thirsty.
Patreon. We got bonus Patreon stuff, right?
Oh yeah, loads of bonus Patreon stuff. Yeah, you get to hear our preamble, and any other junk that I put on there.
All right, Bill. I put you maybe like a 7.5 out of 10 on the Braunch meter, but hey, it's all right. I goaded you a few times. It's all good.
I think I reached an 8 when we had a little reference to bestiality. So,
cool. Not just kidding.
Sorry,
all right. On that note,
definitely time for a drink.
Yeah,
Rich, I need some Bollinger.
Lose money to dice at Matt. That's where I'm headed. I just handed my money and I walked on through the dice anyway. I handed the money first, then rolled the dice because I know it's not going to work.
Just go there for $100 at him and say, "I'm not even going to bother."
Here, take it, throw the dice, and just walk away, not even look.
All right, guys, over and out.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
As we march further on into the adventures of the Great Hunt, we take a quick peek into each of the minds of the 3 farm boys from 2 Rivers to see where their heads are at the moment. Wow, Perrin is so good talking to women. The way he handled Egwene, I wish I could do that. Man, I wish I was as good at women as Perrin. Man, Rand seems to know what he's talking about with them women. I wish I was able to be as good talking with women as he is.
Man, I see Rand and I see Perrin and the way that they're talking to women. Boy, I wish I could talk to women like that. The only thing I'm good at is making women mad. I only make women pissed off. Matt really has a way with women. I don't know how he gets away with it, but I wish I had that same ability to talk to women like he does. I can't believe the way Matt talked to that woman. It worked out beautifully. I just get stuck in my words and they think I'm just slow, but man, Matt really has a way with the women.
This has been a presentation
of the We Can Make This Work
Probably Network.
Follow us on Twitter
at Probably Work
for more of our questionable content.
Also, we have a website called probablywork.com.